Undisputed lightweight champion Devin "The Dream" Haney has had a rough road, and he's had his detractors. But there are some more than others that you just have to question. And in this video, we're going to talk about what is Paulie Malignaggi'S obsession with Devin Haney losing. Let's talk about it. Devin Haney is the undisputed lightweight champion at this very moment. After 2 fights back-to-back with George Kambosos Jr., Haney has been able to secure all the titles in his weight division and has asked for all comers to step up and test his mettle. But he has been met with resistance, fighters who have chosen to evade and even vacate the division rather than to take on the dream. And it's an interesting paradox because most people are internalizing that as he is the one that doesn't want the fights. But he has proven over time that his skills are formidable in the ring. His 2 bouts against George Kambosos, who had won all of the belts outside of the WBC, which Haney was awarded after Vasily Lomachenko vacated the title. The other 3 belts Kambosos had won from Teofimo Lopez in their fight. And finally, George Kambosos begrudgingly gave Haney a shot at undisputed. Only the fight was to take place in Australia, and with a return guarantee. Well, Haney won both bouts, and he's now sitting pretty. But according to an article from Boxing News 24, it reads as such: that Haney versus Lomachenko, Devin is in the toughest fight of his career, says Paulie Malignaggi. Now, anyone who has listened to Paulie Malignaggi, he has expressed sentiments against fighters like Devin Haney because Haney represents what Paulie represented in the sport, a pure boxer. But Haney has more than what Paulie had as a fighter and as a fighter that has a brighter future because of how young he is. But there is a sentiment that Haney will be facing the toughest opponent of his career when he faces Vasily Lomachenko on May 20th, according to Paulie. And he notes that Haney has talked about fighting a lot of good fighters, but he's found a way not to fight any of them. Instead, the best names on Haney's resume are George Kambosos Jr., Jorge Linares, and Yuriorkis Gamboa. But that is not because of Haney. That's because of the other names in the sport who have elected not to face him. But Paulie doesn't see it that way because he says that Linares and Gamboa were both shot when Haney fought them, which means the only notable name on his resume is Kambosos Jr. when you consider it by Paulie standards. But Haney is presently the division's premier pugilist, and he has shown his wares. Paulie has fought in an era when guys would step up to the plate and fight one another. he has some names on his resume that are noteworthy. Amir Khan, Zab Judah, Sean Porter, but those men elected to get in the ring with him. Haney has issued challenges to the likes of Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, even Shakur Stevenson, but these guys haven't looked to get in there with him. So what is it with Paulie? And why is Paulie targeting Devin as a ducking fighter? We have seen what Haney is capable of doing in the ring, and I believe that hasn't even scratched the surface of his abilities. But you cannot dance if you have wallflowers, huh? And that's the thing that Paulie doesn't want to acknowledge. He says if not for Lomachenko turning down the Kambosos fight when he went to war, Haney wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to win a world title. Haney was already afforded and awarded a world title when Lomachenko elected not to fight him a few years ago, and Lomachenko asked for franchise entitlement, which gave up the WBC belt. And that's how Devin Haney got the belt, because he was the #1 contender. And that's where Paulie mixes up the politics and the politricks of his own acknowledgement of what's going on in the sport. Seemingly, when it comes down to a fighter of Devin Haney's stature, he would rather make it as if Haney is the one that doesn't want to get the job done, as opposed to the other fighters in the sport that we're seeing on so many occasions are not stepping up to test themselves, to improve their position, and to go at a chance at legacy. Devin Haney has earned this the hard way, and it was not something that he wanted to do in an easy manner. He wanted the best challenges, and these men refused to face him. So when Paulie Malignaggi says the things that he says, he only comes across like a disgruntled former fighter himself who can't let go of what his own shortcomings were during his career. When you look at Devin Haney and you see him strapped with those titles, the other fighters in the division should want to face him. But who is accepting the challenges? Who is beating down the door to get at him? Who is standing outside, going to press conferences, dropping his name? None of them. And that's where this undisputed champion has found problems. And I'll tell you this, when he defeats Lomachenko, it's going to get tougher, because Lomachenko was the last needle in the haystack that Devin Haney has to pluck before he shows what is going on in the future. What do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, the third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Do you feel like Paulie, that Devin has evaded his contemporaries, or is it the other way around? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone remain safe.